Hey everyone, it's Janet from Yoga with Janet. And I can't wait to take you through this flow. It's one of my favorites. We are going to spend 60 minutes working towards an arm balance called Eka Pada Koundinyasana. But it's less about that. So what we're going to be doing is finding stability. Specifically, stability in the legs and the hips, and then working towards deeper twists, as well as stability in the shoulders for that arm balance. So it's an arm balance, but there's also a twist in it. And I'm going to throw some other things in there as well. But the idea of this is when life is crazy and you're thrown into challenges, how do you stay centered? How do you stay grounded and centered amongst the challenges of life? And so that's what we are working on, is going to be finding that stability and then adding some things in there and trying to stay focused and centered. So that's my little spiel. And a block will be handy for the practice. You don't need it, but I love blocks. So if you have this or a Harry Potter sized book, bring it next to you. Close your eyes. And just come to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like to you. They're on your butt or on your shins. And just begin by closing your eyes down. Lift the lower back and illuminate the spine. Already finding this sense of foundation and growing from there. And then I want you to bring your attention inwards. And so you actively have to slow down. And in this slowing down, we start to become more mindful, thoughtful, and really just thinking about taking care of ourselves, which just means you need to slow down. And coming to this kind of deeper place of listening. Take a big breath in. Open mouth. Letting that softness ripple through the body. So you are stable and alert, yet soft and relaxed. And one more breath in. And out. Go ahead and come onto your hands and your knees. We are going to bring the block, if you have it, or your book between your inner thighs up towards your groin. And then tabletop. So shoulders on top of the wrists, knees underneath the hips. And we'll just start by hugging that block so the inner thighs begin to engage. So lots of inner thighs stabilizing the pelvis. And as you breathe in, lift the chest, lift the tailbone. And as you breathe out, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Stretch between the shoulder blades. Inhale, heart forward. Lift the chin bone, lift the tailbone. And exhale, actively press away, straighten the arms more. Pull the navel up and in. Again, inhale, heart forward, shoulder blades slide down the back, arms stay straight. And then exhale, round the spine. Grip your fingertips. Adding in the legs. As you breathe in, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, squeeze heels towards your bum, hamstrings. And then exhale, round the spine, dome the back, lift your knees, toes stay flat. Inhale, heart forward. Squeeze the heels. And exhale, round, belly in. Shins hover, feel that core. And then one more. Inhale, squeeze heels to your bum, take the chest forward. And then exhale, round and hover. You're here for 3. Knees are just an inch away. 2, continue to press away. And then tuck the toes, downward facing dog. So we stay with the block between the inner thighs, feeling the action of hugging towards the midline. So we'll start with the hands. Spread the fingers. Anchor the inner palms and then hug the thumbs towards each other. Good. Squeeze the elbows towards each other and wrap the triceps towards each other. Everything hugs to the center line of the body, the midline. And then press away. Make the spine longer by lifting the pelvis. You may take a little bend into the knees. Then we're going to do heel raises. As you inhale, lift onto your toes. Articulate through the ankles. And exhale, melt the heels. A little stretch in the backs of the legs. Again, inhale, we rise. Move slow. And exhale, we lower. One more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower, finding that connection to the breath. Inhale, rise. This time, ripple forward. Round the back of the heart into high plank. And then exhale, bend the knees. Press the belly back to the thighs. Lift the hips down, dog. With the breath, inhale, ripple, round the spine. Uncoil. Bend the knees. Exhale, press the chest back. Downward facing dog. One more with your own breath. All meeting in downward facing dog. And keep the block. Rise to your toes. Good. And then waddle. It's a little waddle to the top of the mat. Stay on the tiptoes. Hands flat. Firm foundation always. Good. Come forward. Halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. 2 more. Firm the block in. And release. 1 more. Weight in the front of the feet. Lengthen the heart forward. And then release and release the block. Good. Inhale. Sweep the arms all the way up. Press the palms above the head. And then exhale. Circle the hands back to the heart. Moving into our sun salutations. A little warm up. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms. And then exhale, fold. Weight is even between the front and the back of the foot. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward, weight forward. Step your right foot back. And step your left foot back. Plank. Take a breath in. And for this first one, we'll slowly lower. Traction, elbows over the wrists, heart forward, feet press back all the way down. Point your toes and inhale, cobra. Lift the chest. Forehead to the mat. 2 more. Anchor the hips, lift the chest. Forehead to the mat. Last one. Breathe in, cobra. Squeeze the elbows in. Forehead to the mat. Press to your knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Imagine you had the block there. Inhale. Exhale 2. And rise onto your toes. And then tiptoe. A little waddle. Flex the toes, hike the hip. Flex the toes, hike the hip. We continue, feet between the hands. Inhale, breathe the chest forward, and exhale, we release. Sweep the arms all the way up. Grow the sides of the waist. And then circle your hands back to heart. Inhale, circle the arms. Little lubrication for the shoulders. And then dive forward, lead with the heart. Way down. Inhale, stretch the heart forward. And then step the left foot back. So opposite leg, right foot back. And inhale, find the length. Good, and then exhale, you can lower to the belly or Chaturanga, halfway. Good, Cobra or upward facing dog. In up dog, thighs lift, expand the chest. Downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Rise to your toes. Flex the right foot. Toe the foot forward. Flex the left foot. Hike the hip. We tiptoe all the way to the top of the mat. Inhale. Half lift. And exhale, we fold. Let's sweep the arms wide and high. Whole body illumination. And then circle the hands back to the heart. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Expand. And exhale, fold inwards. Tension inwards as well. Inhale, heart forward. And step your right foot back. And then left foot back. You can always lower to the belly. And do Cobra or Chaturanga, heart forward but heels back, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Inhale, and exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. So you can step forward if you want to play with a jump. Bring your feet together, shorten the down dog, look forward, breath in, and then exhale, jump. Halfway lift, hands flat if possible, and fold. And sweep the arms all the way up, gathering above the head, reach through space. Circle the hands back to the heart. 1 more round of our Sun A. Inhale, wide and high. And then exhale, fold forward all the way. Inhale, halfway, left hands flat. Step the left foot back, step the right foot back. Breathe in. And then lower, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Big breath in. And out. And 1 more breath here. And open mouth. Bring the feet together to touch, and you can step or take your little pounce. Super light. Halfway lift, lengthen, and fold. Reach the arms all the way up. Lift out of the hips, and then circle the hands all the way back to the heart. And come back to that place of your center, growing out of the feet, out of the legs, but mentally also coming to your center. Good. Bend the knees, reach your arms up, chair. Everybody loves a chair. Sit a little bit lower. And we're gonna take an open twist. Take a breath in. Good, and then open your arms over to the right. Inhale, center, hips stay. Open to the left. So notice if you start to twist around, I want you to keep the hips in neutral. Inhale, center. So just the arms and the torso open to the right. and center. Inhale to the left. One more each side. Breathe in. And open to the right. Center. And to the left. Deep breath in, hips low, arms high, and fold forward. Breathe in, find length. Step the feet back about 6 inches, and we're gonna come into crow pose or crow play. Plant the hands, spread the fingers, and then rise onto the toes. Separate the knees into the diamond. Avoid dropping the bum low. We need to keep the bum high for the weight to be centered. And then begin to bend the elbows backwards and nestle the knees into your armpits. Lean forward. So you can stay here or you can play with lifting the feet. Squeeze the hamstrings and breathe. Take one more breath and then you can step or jump, Chaturanga, to upward facing dog. We meet downward facing dog. Big breath in. Ooh, a little crack. Full breath out. And center the left foot. Lift your right leg high, inhale. And then draw your knee into your chest. Step between the hands. Drop the pelvis, left hand down, right arm up. Easy twist. And then release your right hand down. Plant the left heel. We're gonna come into warrior one. You can widen the stance a little. The blade edge of the back foot presses down. Bend the right knee, sweep the arms up. Gather and reach. Good. Take a big breath in and then settle into the right thigh, coming towards that 90-degree angle without that back knee sinking. So you lift the thigh bone, lift the quad. Deep breath in. Arrowhead. Sweep the hands back, heart forward. A few of these pulses. Inhale, we lift and rise. And exhale, sweep the arms back. Really working into the legs. Building the heat and foundation. Inhale, lift. And exhale, arrowhead, diagonal. Rise up, warrior one. And then hands to hips. Straighten your right leg. Hop that back foot in a couple of inches. And in that sense, we're able to square the hips off towards the front a bit more. You can widen the feet if you need to. The hips shine forward. Press into the blade edge of the back foot. Lift the front of the hips. Hands to hips. Squeeze the elbows back. Lift the chest. Inhale. And then begin to fold into your pyramid. Tuck the chin and pull the frontal ribs down towards the frontal hips. And firm the right hip in. We're going to take some pulses. Bend the right knee and straighten. Always option to have your hands onto the blocks or the mat. Bend the right knee and straighten. Right hip back. One more. Bend and straighten. Release your hands all the way down. Step the left foot back and then step your right foot back, plank. Inhale and then lower, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog and downward facing dog. Lift the hips up and back. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Moving to the other side. Center the right foot. Lift your left leg high. Inhale. Draw your knee into your chest. Round and step through. Right hand down. Left arm up to the ceiling. Easy twist. Good. Left hand down. Right heel down. Warrior one. So bend into your left knee. Knee and hip working towards that same line, and then sweep the arms up. And bend deeply into the left knee and settle into your warrior one. Maybe taking the gaze up. Deep breath in and out. We move into our little arrowheads. Inhale, reach. And exhale, sweep the hands back by the hips, palms face down. Inhale, we rise, lift. And then exhale, hands back by the hips. One more, lift up. Feel that foundation of strength building your center. And hands back, heart forward. And rise up, warrior one. Hands to hips, straighten your left leg. Back foot comes in a few inches. Firm the outer left hip into the right inner thigh and roll that outer right hip forward without the front of the pelvis dropping. Hands to hips. Inhale. And then begin to fold. Halfway. Exhale. Tuck the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. Outer left hip pulls in. Pulses. We bend. Inhale. And straighten. Bend. And straighten. One more. Bend and straighten. Good. Release the hands down. Scoot your right foot back. And then step your left foot back into your plank. Deep breath in. And then lower Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Okay, lower the knees. You're gonna bring the block between your inner thighs for our tuck jumps, and you can do this without the block as well, but it's nice to find this sense of the midline, everything hugging in so you know it's active and not as kind of floppy. Okay, so we'll be playing with the tuck jumps coming forward. Feet together, if possible, they'll be a little bit apart maybe, and a short down dog. So bend your knees, and then you'll come forward, shoulders over the wrists, and that's your kind of springboard point. So you bend the knees, and then you can play with the jump. Bend and jump. We're here for 5, for 4, for 3, 2, and 1. Step or jump. Oofda. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. This time you'll take the block between your feet, if you have one, and rise all the way up to stand, and then circle the hands all the way back to the heart, and just take a breath in. Good. Preparing again with a few add-ons always. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms above the head, and exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Now we bend the knees, reach the arms up, chair. You thought I forgot that, didn't you? Good, sink a little bit lower. We're gonna take the same open twist, and now the thigh bones are parallel. Work to keep the hips stable, hips face forward. Inhale, good, exhale, open twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, open to the left. Inhale, center. And to the right. Good. Center, stay low. To the left. Feel those legs burn. Center. One more each side. To the right. Center. And to the left. Big breath in. Inhale. Exhale, fold down the midline. Breathe in, find length. Wiggle the feet back with the block. We'll take crow again, option to lift the block up with the feet. So when you do this, It allows your feet to come off of the mat at the same time, which we're looking to do evenly. And squeeze the elbows and rise onto your toes. Separate the knees into a diamond. And then take the elbows backwards and armpits into the knees. Now you have to lean forward so the elbows come over the wrists. And then play with squeezing the block and lifting the heels towards your bum for 3, 2, and then slowly release. You can jump back if you like, or just step back and move through. Chaturanga, an upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Deep breath in, and full breath out. We begin again. Left foot centers, lift the right leg high, inhale. Good, this time you take right knee to right tricep, squeeze. Inhale, up and back. A knee to your left tricep, so it's a twist, as high up as you can go. 3-legged dog, breath in, and then knee into your chest, round and step between the hands. Deep bend, left hand down, right arm up, inhale, right hand down, left heel down, warrior 1, rise. Find your foundation, take a breath in, arrowhead, sweep the hands back by the hips. Again, rise. Good. And bow. 1 more. Warrior 1. And arrowhead, sweep the hands back by the hips. Lift up, warrior 1. And then hands to hips, straighten the right leg like we did before. Hop that back foot in. Pull the right hip back, left hip forward. This time grab opposite elbows or reverse namaste, pressing the palms together behind your back. Okay? So from here, I want you to squeeze the palms, draw the shoulder heads back, but pull the front ribs in so you're contained through the center. Start to lean forward. Long spine. Imagine balancing a glass of champagne on your tailbone, flat surface there on the sacrum. Okay, we do our pulses, bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. 1 more, bend and straighten. Listen carefully, release the hands, keep the right leg straight if possible, lift the back heel. 3-legged dog, so slide that thigh bone up into the hip socket and reach your right leg high, 3-legged dog. Knee to right tricep like we did before. This time option for Chaturanga, lower halfway, 3-legged dog, inhale. A knee to your left tricep, and again, Chaturanga, 3-legged dog. And then ripple forward, 1-legged plank. Lower, 1-legged Chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. A breath to regather yourself, always coming back to center. This is what our breath does. It's like an anchor. It's always there, reminding us to return. And this is what yoga is. It's not a practice of arriving. It's a practice of returning back to center, back to stability, back to foundation. And center the right foot. Lift your left leg high. Inhale. Knee to left tricep. Squeeze. 3-legged dog. Lift it up and back. And knee to right tricep. Squeeze. 3-legged dog. Inhale. A knee to chest. Squeeze and step between the hands. Right hand down, left arm up. Easy twist. Open the chest. Left hand down. Right heel down. Warrior 1. Rise. Lift and lengthen. Inhale. And then arrowhead. Exhale, bow. 2 more with your breath. Rise. And bow. Good. Lift all the way up. Lengthen the torso, descend the left thigh. And then hands to hips, straighten the left leg. Hop that back foot in. Left outer hip pulls back and in, right outer hip forward. Good. Reverse namaste, our opposite elbows. Lift the front of the hips so we're not letting the belly spill forward and the pelvis. We want to lift the front of the hips the whole time, even as we bow. Okay, start to fold. Shoulder heads back, chin tucked. About halfway, we'll take our pulses. We bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. 1 more. Bend and straighten. Release the hands. Good. Lift the back heel. Left leg straight. Plug the thigh bone into the socket. Lift up. Inhale. And then knee to left tricep. Chaturanga. 3-legged dog. Inhale. And then knee to right tricep. Chaturanga. 3-legged dog. And then 1-legged plank. Come forward. Lower. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. So you can hold your down dog for 5 breaths. Or again, you can take the block and bring it between the inner thighs for the tuck jumps. We'll take 5. Last one, we arrive the top of the mat. And again, option to always hold the down dog for those 5 breaths. Shorten the down dog, feet together, squeeze the block. Would come forward, shoulders over wrists, and then we spring and lift. Good, arms straight, grip the fingers. 4, 3, 2, and then last one. You can hear a little come forward, halfway lift, and then exhale, release. Good. Release the blocks, top of the mat. You'll bring them on the highest height if you have them. Otherwise, no stress. Inhale, sweep the arms up, press the palms, and then circle the hands back to the heart. Again, coming back to your center. Here we go. Okay, adding on, always layering, but a little bit different this time. Bend the knees, reach the arms up. So legs together now. Good, and then take the hands to the heart. We just twist to the right. Left elbow to the right thigh. If the hips swing to the left, swing them back to the right. Draw the left knee back. Press down through the top hand and press the shoulder blade into the back of the heart to align the head and the tail. For 3, for 2, and 1. Release the hands forward, either to the blocks or to the mat. And then we'll begin. Lift the left leg up to hip height. So now we're creating a little leg balance here. Roll the outer left hip down, toes point down, and then pull the lower belly up and in. Fingertips light, or option to bring the hands into the heart. And we're gonna do pulses because I love them. It's a theme. Bend the knee and straighten. So we're building strength here. Bend the knee, all the glutes and hips, all the little muscles, and straighten. Good. Bend the right knee and straighten. This time you're gonna bend, release the hands by the foot, step the left foot back, and left heel down. Bend the knee, rise up. Warrior 1, inhale, Just one arrowhead. Sweep the hands back by the hips. Good. Inhale, we rise. Warrior one. Exhale, hands to hips. Straighten the right leg. Back foot hops in. Good. And now option to bring the block inside or outside of the foot for revolved triangle. I'll do it without the block so you can see. Right hand hooks into the right hip. Pull it back. Reach your left arm to the ceiling. And then begin to fold forward just to halfway. Head and tail in line. Good. Now you'll take the back of your left hand to the outer right shin or knee and just begin to gently press into it so your left shoulder comes forward underneath the right. Spin to the right and reach your right arm up if available. Squeeze the right hip in and breathe for 3. Maybe look up. 2. And then release over towards the left. Wide angle forward, forward, I can't even speak. Wide angle forward fold, Eka Pada Koundinyasana. Take the hands in line with the heels of the feet. Good, maybe onto blocks, or if that's not close enough or your hands aren't flat, just bring them underneath you and take a little bend into the knees. Squeeze the elbows in and then shift the weight in towards the toes, heart forward. So we're gonna play with little tips forward, lifting the heels. So as you breathe in, lift the heels an inch and then release. Again, inhale, come forward, lifting the heels, little balance, and release. One more, lean forward and release. Inhale, look up halfway, and then crawl all the way around to the top of the mat. Take your left knee outside your right heel and sit down. How nice. Good. Ground the right hip. Good. And ground your right big toe. So we take this cross of the legs. If both hips aren't level, you can just straighten your bottom leg as well. Okay? So we'll start here with the seated twist. Take the right hand behind you. Good. Grow tall, left arm to the ceiling. Begin to spin around the axis of the spine. Hook the elbow to the thigh. So the left rib cage presses to the right thigh. And then if available, you can thread through for the bind. And if you compromise the spine, just come out of it and then relift the spine. This is most important. Deep breath in and full breath out. So it's a nice outer hip stretch as well, getting into the deeper twist. So I'm going to just turn around a little bit and face you. You'll stay in the twist. And then option here is to take the arm balance, that Eka Pada Koundinyasana A, which I was talking about at the beginning. So you'll need a little bit of momentum, and you can always stay in the twist. Your hands will come forward, so you're in the twist still. You hook left elbow to the right knee, and then right elbow into the right hips. And this is where you're gonna need some momentum to rock forward, and you come forward onto the hands. So your hips need to lift. Let's start to shoot the heart forward, and you can wedge that right elbow into the right hip, or you can keep it free, and then the back foot may lift. Good, so you have the option here to stay or begin to extend your legs towards straight for 3, 2, you come back and all the way down. God, it's hard to talk and do that at the same time. Big breath in, grow tall, and then unravel over to the left just to de-rotate the spine, other direction. Okay, we have one more pose in this flow, so stay with me. Everything you've done works towards this. Okay, hands are gonna come onto the blocks or to the mat. Step the right foot forward, and then lift your left leg. Warrior 3. Good. Again, roll the outer left hip down. Leg is at hip height. Good. Maybe come to the fingertips whether you're on the blocks or not. And then start to reach your right arm out to the right. And then begin to rotate, rolling your right ribs back. And maybe the right arm up towards the ceiling. Notice if you drop your left hip, press through the back heel and lift the lower belly. One more breath. And release. Good. Step forward. You know when it's intense, I start shouting. Good. Shake the legs out. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. And sweep the arms all the way up. Press the palms above the head. And then circle the hands all the way back to the heart. Okay, we have two sides, so other side. And then I'm gonna let y'all lay down. Here we go. Bend the knees, arms up. Here we are, chair pose, and then twist. Right elbow to the left thigh. Squeeze the knee, squeeze the inner thighs, like you had that block between the thighs. Good. Roll the left chest back. One more breath. And then release, hands to the blocks. Inhale, lengthen. Hands to the blocks or to the mat. And then lift your right leg into your warrior three. You can come to the fingertips or option to bring the hands to the heart. Flex your back toes. Toes point down. We take the pulses. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. This is so targeted, so you will feel this most likely quite intensely. Bend and straighten. Okay, bend the knee, plant the hands by the foot, step your right foot back. Right heel down, sweep the arms up, warrior one, and then arrowhead, sweep the hands back. Warrior one, inhale. And then bring the hands to the hips. Straighten the left leg, take that back foot in. Left hip plugs back. We move into revolved triangle. Reach your right arm to grow the right side of the body. And then tilt forward. Option to use the block in or outside of the foot, ankle. And then take the back of the right hand to the outer left shin and begin to use that leverage to spin the chest open, and then maybe left arm to the ceiling. And 3, big toes down, kneecaps lift. 2, look up, and then release. Left hand down, move slow over to the right. Okay, parallel the feet. Slide the hands in line with the heels of the feet. So option to play with those tips forward, lifting the heels, or if you want to take your tripod headstand, we've created a lot of stability in the shoulders and the chaturanga shape in the arms. And so you can start to just bring the crown of the head down. You can even take a little bend and avoid jumping. Just work to slowly lift. Squeeze the elbows in, and then maybe legs lift, squeeze the legs together. Press the thighs back, bum in, and squeeze the elbows in. You can stay here for as long as you like. It's your practice in your home or hotel. And then if you're with me, you'll just lower. It's okay to go rogue. I love going rogue. Lift the chest and then walk all the way back to the top of the mat. And take the right knee outside of your left ankle. Lower your left hip down. That might be the hardest part. Again, you can straighten your bottom leg. Take the left hand behind you. Reach your right arm up. And then begin to twist. Right elbow to, little mic's getting in the way. The boobies, good. Take the elbow to the knee and rotate. Again, option to thread the right arm through the front. And notice how I just collapsed. You have to work to expand the chest. And then look over the left shoulder if that feels okay on your neck. Lower back lifts. Okay, so we're all set up for the arm balance. We're in the twist. So you can stay in the seated twist, or you'll take the right elbow outside of your left knee. Left elbow comes into the waist. And I might knock those blocks over just looking at them. And then you start to get that little bit of momentum to come forward and lift the hips. Nudge that elbow in. And then maybe, oh, my left arm's free. I didn't even plan on that. And then option to extend. Good. For 3, you can stay here. For 2, and 1. And then you'll slowly de-rotate over towards the right. I was waiting for that crack in my back, but it's not coming. Okay, take the left leg forward. And here we go. Last pose in our standing series, and then you can plop your bums down. Lift your right leg. Warrior 3. Come to the right fingertips on or off the mat. Left hand to left hip. Begin to rotate the chest open to the left, and then option to lift your left arm. Now lift the lower belly and lift your right thigh at the same time. 1 more breath. And then release. Left hand down, right foot down. Deep breath in and out. Fold. And we're just going to lower the bum all the way down. Grab your blocks, ladies and gentlemen. Lay onto your back. And we're just going to do, we're basically prepared with the inner thighs hugging in. So it's a really good time to do a back bend because we've stabilized the pelvis. So let's just do it as we're here. I'll let you just take your hands onto your belly and your ribs just for a moment. Let the knees knock in. Good, okay. We're gonna align the feet hip width distance apart and bring the block between your inner thighs if you have it. And you should be able to brush your heels with your fingertips. Puff up your chest and then slowly press the lower back down and ripple up through the spine. Press into your heels, and as you do that, the hips lift higher. We use the legs more, chest to chin. You can interlace your hands if you want. A lot of people like that, but if you do, press the hands down. Release your hands and then slowly roll all the way down. And try not to move. Bring the hands onto the belly, the ribs, the chest. And feel the effects of your back bend. And this is the work of staying centered amongst the chaos and craziness. As we expand, can we expand from the center? Right, equal in all directions, balanced. So option to keep the block between the thighs, or you can remove it because we've done a lot of that hugging in, so your body and inner thighs should be quite trained now. And we'll just move into wheel Chakrasana, as some call it. Okay, so you'll release the hands. And then slowly roll up 1 vertebrae at a time into your bridge. Good. Scoot the shoulders underneath you. And then it's valuable, whether you're coming into wheel or not, to flip the hands by the ears. And then squeeze the elbows in and come onto the crown of the head. And squeeze the elbows in like you did for your tripod headstand. And then press into the legs and into your arms. Good. I feel like I'm going to drop the block, which you might too, and that's okay. Good. Press the tailbone up into the pelvis. Hug the outer hips in. Good. And then lift your pubic bone. And then slowly, when you're ready, crown of the head. And then shoulders, upper back, middle back, lower back. Just remove the block to the side. Hands on the belly. This is your just time to be still. Feel the effects of the wheel. Returning to center. Okay, we're gonna take a nice hip opener because we have done like no kind of external rotation, so this should feel quite nice. You're gonna cross the left ankle on top of your right knee, and if you're kind of like lifting up a bunch, you can bring the block underneath your head. And then thread your arms through and just grab your right thigh. You can grab the shin if that's available, but if it's too much, I want the whole length of the spine on the mat. Flex the left toes and just allow this to be a little closing ritual. Nothing that you need to get out of it specifically. Just knowing that you are winding down and starting to become more inwards, more introverted, connecting to that deeper center. And that requires you to be quiet to connect to it. And then take your arms up to a T. Keep the cross of the legs. Lower your right foot so you have a little open hip opener. And you'll take the knees over to the left so the hips stay open. And you can keep the ankle on top of the knee or you can release it down. Completely up to you. So we're in more of an open twist. And then just close your eyes. And slowly come back to center. Uncross your left ankle and then cross your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Thread through. Grab the thigh or the shin. Flex the right toes and press the right knee away from you. Can you let this be a little bit active in the leg so it's not fully passive? And then relax everything that's not necessary to hold you in this place. So the face, the jaw, the skin around the eyes, the shoulders, the neck. And lower your left foot. And we'll come into the twist. So drop your knees over towards the right. Keeping hips open, right ankle on top of the left knee. And if that is too much, you just release the foot down. A little bit of weight might be nice, a sense of grounding and opening at the same time. And then you'll slowly come back to center. So we're just gonna take plow pose and fish, and then we'll come into Shavasana. So this will be a nice little rounding for the spine and a little bit of opening in the backs of the legs after doing our wheel. Okay, so you'll hug the knees into your chest and you imagine you're doing a backward somersault. Get a little bit of momentum, lift the hips up, and then bring the feet behind you. Scoot the elbows in and look directly up. And then you get the elbows closer together and your fingers run along line with the ribs, so horizontally, and then press your back ribs in. Lift the lower back. And if your feet are touching the mat, plow them down and press the thighs up for that hamstring opening. Really opening the whole back body here. Deep flexion. And an option to release your hands down by your side if you feel balanced, or by your feet. I love this one. And then as slowly as you can, your core is your brakes. You're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Draw that lower belly in. And then just release your legs all the way down. We need to scoot along your mat. We'll take fish. Just slide the thumbs underneath the bum. Good, legs together. Draw your shoulders back and down. Press into your forearms, then elbows, and then just release your head back. Just to open the front of the throat, the spine. Puff the chest. And then slowly release. Take your feet wide. Let the toes flap open. Draw the tailbone under and then release your hands by your side if you want to cover up or cover your eyes. Or turn the lights off. And Shavasana is this ultimate return. You know, the practice can feel quite extreme. And so Shavasana is this time to come always back to center, to ourselves, to our deepest layer of self. And allow everything to just be that is happening around you. But you are solid and heavy and grounded. Shavasana. You can stay here for as long as you like. Just to rest in that place of center, your home base. If you're ready, you can reach your arms above your head and take a big stretch. The willingness to start fresh with a new perspective. And hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. And then roll over to your left side. And keep the eyes closed and then gently come all the way up to seated. That's where we began. Lift the lower back. Grow tall through the spine. And soften the shoulders. Let go of the control of your breath. And let it flow freely, knowing that amongst that flow, you are still centered. Bring the hands into your heart. If you'd like, you can join me for an Om. Take a big breath in. Bring your hands to your forehead and take a bow. Namaste. Have an amazing day. I hope you feel grounded and ready to begin again.